Good morning. My name is Tony Navarra. I am a sales manager, sales teacher, author, but more importantly, I'm a salesman. And I'm here today with one of my book reviews. And today's an oldie but goodie. This book is called Body Politics: Power, Sex, and Nonverbal Communication by Nancy M. Henley. This is an oldie but goodie. Let me tell you, this is firmly in the tradition of second wave feminism. So it talks a lot about men versus women. And it specifically speaks about women's body language in contrast to men's body language. Now, I may be doing other reviews of this book later on, but right now I'm going to focus on chapter 5, which has to do with language, which is my focus right now. Language and how it's used between humans in a sales situation, not necessarily in a power dynamic between men and women. And the lessons from this are really important, because as a salesperson, you get a lot of messages. You get a lot of messages from the environment. You get a lot of messages from your customers. You may even get a lot of messages from your fellow salespeople or management. And that is, you are lesser than. Okay? You are a supplicant. You are someone who is coming hat in hand to beg someone for money. If you've been in sales for any time at all, you know that this is the absolute worst way to approach a sales situation that you can possibly take. So the question is, if these are the signals that you're getting from your environment, how can you push back on that? How can you demonstrate, not say, hey, I'm the best, look at me, I'm a great salesperson, because everybody discounts that. But how can you show that you are a worthy person? You can show that you're an equal with the client, and have that kind of leverage in your sales situation. There are 4 different steps or 4 different things that she shows in this book that are indications of a higher status person. And I'm going to go over those 4 and then show really briefly how you might use those in a sales situation. The first one is a higher status person speaks clearly. They have clear articulation. They know how to pronounce words. They don't mumble. They don't drop their voice. They don't come off as hesitant. They speak clearly. They tend to speak with a flat affect, as in, this is not a question, this is a statement. Those sorts of things as they approach a conversation. The second thing that higher status people present in a conversation is they tend to have a lower tone of voice. They tend to have a deeper voice. There is, from my understanding, not much of a physiological difference between men and women's voices, but women do tend to have a higher tone to their voice. So to more deliberately drop that tone a little bit, to speak a little more authoritatively with no up talk, you know what I mean? Those sorts of efforts on your part will have you come across as being more authoritative. The third thing is that it's oral speech. So you use the oral cavity. It is not nasal speech, which is where you talk through your nose. So speak out of your mouth, not through your nose. This might be a hard thing for some people. And this is where it really comes in handy to record yourself. How do I sound? Because inside your head, when you talk, you sound like you have a lower voice because it's resonating inside of your skull. you are not hearing what it is that people are actually hearing. It can be really difficult to listen to yourself recorded. You get to hear all those little things that you do, and your voice does not sound like it sounds in your head. Record your voice. Try to speak more clearly and with that lower tone. The other thing that high status people do is they have very few verbal tics, like, these sorts of things. This is something I struggle with myself. I have worked really hard and have reduced them, but they are still there. Lots and lots of verbal tics. When someone doesn't sound convincing, or they sound unsure about what they're talking about, they tend to put a lot more ums, ahs, likes. They stumble over words. They really have a hard time conveying their message in a clear, focused manner. So those are 4 points that she makes in the 5th chapter here. I highly recommend this book. This book, like I said, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. It was published in 1977. It comes from a very particular time and place. But I think you, as a salesperson, will gain a lot about the dynamics of people communicating with one another in a situation. And once you become aware of those, now you can start to change them to be in your favor. Now, if you're like me and you like books, you should check out my book, which is Killer Sales Solutions. And this book will teach you a thing or two about sales. For example, when I said at the opening of this video, good morning. Now, I have no idea when you're going to be watching this video. It could be in the middle of the night. It could be late in the afternoon. Chances are it is not going to be the morning. However, if you use a wrong statement, people will stumble over themselves to correct you. And if you want to learn this technique as well as many, many others, check out Killer Sales Techniques by Tony Navarra. Thank you so much. Go out and make a sale today. Have a great one.